Love this thing.
Yeah, it's great.
This vehicle has been permanently inscribed with the notation Lemon Law Buyback. Oh, damn. All right, I'm gonna drag race here.
Okay. I win.
That's the thunk I was telling you.
I had not heard that before.
It's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just said to Kyle, the tires are bald. He goes, well, we used it. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Oh, there's a curb in the center, and it's kind of shaped up like this, and we just went over it.
Just giving it a little final wipe down. Get all this dog drool off the seats. Thank you to our sponsors for today's video, Ionna, InfyPower, and Eaton. Ionna, North America's premier charging network. With unmatched commitment to elevating the customer experience, Ionna is opening America's roads to all EVs, giving drivers the coverage they need, the reliability they deserve, and the amenities they crave. Also, InfyPower, the largest EV charger module provider with over 3 million power modules running reliably worldwide. Their latest G2 collection features ultra-high power density and efficiency for EV charging and energy storage integration. InfyPower, innovation for your power. And Eaton. Eaton is a one-stop shop for implementing reliable and innovative EV charging infrastructure at your site. Across all applications, Eaton's EV charging infrastructure, hardware, and software gives you the scalability, flexibility, and intelligence you need to charge today and scale up tomorrow. Learn more at eaton.com/EVCI. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You join me for the last time with my Tesla Cybertruck. That's right, if you followed the videos, you know that we've had a few problems with our truck along the way. That's not to dictate the entire ownership experience. Not everything has been bad. In fact, I've really kind of enjoyed the truck. Maybe not this particular one, but Cybertruck in general has been pretty cool. This one's given us some problems recently, and Tesla has agreed to buy it back from us because of the problems that we have. And some of those problems have been significant, causing the truck to turn into a complete brick in my garage. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis on what's happened up to this point with our Cybertruck over the last almost year and 2 months of ownership. I've done many videos on this, so I'll breeze through that. Then I'm going to take you on my last ever drive of the Cybertruck, and then we're going to hand the app, because there's no keys, hand the keys over to Tesla, where they will then repurchase it, and they have a nice check waiting for me at the Tesla Loveland Service Center, and we will say goodbye to the Cybertruck. So kind of a sad video. Some of you guys will be ecstatic, I'm sure, excited to always see the comments on any of our Cybertruck videos, but you guys won't have to see much more of this truck anymore. So we're over here at Coleton's shop where he films for the Out of Spec Detailing channel, and my dad's actually behind the camera. We're gonna get him on camera here in a minute, but it is time to say goodbye to the Cybertruck, Coleton.
A little sad about that, to be honest.
Me too, but that doesn't mean we can't get another one in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's just very quickly run through the 26,000 miles, whatever we have on here, 1 year and a couple months of ownership. Picked it up in Jacksonville, Florida. We were one of the very first ones to get a Cybertruck, which was exciting. This is VIN 100 something.
Yep.
And of course, I just wanted it for content. Mm-hmm. And I thought the truck was like kind of cool. We got to go to Texas and film, a truck down there, which was really fun.
And before that, we went to the launch event of the Cybertruck, both you and I at the Tesla factory.
That's right, yeah. So we were there for the initial deliveries of them, where they did like the initial 10 or 15 or whatever. And honestly, you and I have been kind of into the Cybertruck thing.
Oddly.
I like weird cars and interesting cars, and take the politics out. This is a weird and interesting car. Mm-hmm. And it's not all good in every area, but it's also totally class leading in others. Technically impressive from the 48 volt system, steer by wire, the construction of it's pretty cool, the sound system's amazing. There's so many things to love here, and of course so many things to hate.
Yes.
And that's just been the case with Tesla, but also the Cybertruck in particular. So we bought this one, we took delivery in Jacksonville, Florida, drove it across the country in the truck race, put a ton of miles on it, did all the ownership updates. And I was really excited that we had this because we were one of the very few outlets who A, had a Cybertruck, and B, was providing, I would say, mostly unbiased coverage. Like we were showing the good, the bad, the ugly of what it was like to have one. We weren't like, the Tesla fanboy accounts, and we weren't the Tesla haters. I always try to be somewhere in the middle because I don't really care either way. I just like cars.
Yeah, totally agree. I think we always try and do that though, no matter whatever manufacturer it is. Like, we're pretty hard on every single manufacturer.
Absolutely.
And we give a lot of praise when it's actually needed and necessary too.
Absolutely. And, but we review cars, and this was another, car or truck in this case to run through the review program. So we picked it up and we had a ton of fun with it. The first 6 months were just testing after testing after testing. Towing tests, charging tests, range tests. What else did we do with this thing? Metal test. You went through and did a lot of different, crazy things to the metal, and it's actually held up pretty well. Could use another one of your treatments though. Yeah,
the barkeeper's friend, Windex, all that fun stuff treatment. But yeah, it's been, honestly, this truck for my content wise, I've done 20 videos on Cybertruck, stainless steel, all the stuff on it. It's been really interesting, and still getting comments to this day of like, what do I use for this? I'm like, I've done like 10 videos on this, so, here's a link.
Out of Spec Detailing on YouTube.
Yep.
You'll find all the details on this one. So I had really fun time driving this thing. I had my Rivian and this at the same time, Coleton, and it's been really fun because those are two kind of electric lifestyle trucks to, figure out which one I like more. And honestly, with them both parked at the end of the driveway, it was 50-50 every day.
Yeah.
I think the Rivian's got a much better image and a better driving character in the city. It's just, so well sorted on the early Gen 1 trucks. But then I get into the Gen 2 Rivians and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I much prefer this.
Yeah.
And so having my Gen 1 Rivian and this, it's been really kind of cool because for the first 6 months or maybe even more, we didn't have autopilot on this. We had no FSD, nothing. You had to drive it everywhere, which was so annoying. And, I hate to sound like one of those people, but Tesla FSD has gotten so good. I'm so used to just hitting where I want to go and the car does it. And now this kind of is there, but it's still worse with autopilot than our Model 3 is.
Right. Well, these still don't have autopilot.
Oh, they have FSD.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but FSD also, I've heard from a lot of people who drive, new hardware for cars, and this is still a little bit behind.
Yes.
And I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the size of it or the rear steer, but it's just, it doesn't give you the FSD experience that we get in our Model 3 or even my Model S with hardware 3.0.
Yep.
Jordan's car is just amazing. That thing just
really
goes wherever you want it to go.
Yeah.
It's so cool. But it's cool that this at least offers that. And I have to give Tesla credit. We were super hard on them when we first bought it, Coleton, for its shipping with nothing that we paid for. No light bar, no autopilot, FSD.
No wheel covers.
Yeah, wheel covers was a thing, but the list goes on and on. The power share home thing, which I did get installed at my house.
Which is cool.
We have a whole video on that. Never lost power once.
Super usable.
Didn't need it.
Kyle's just flipping the breaker so he can use his truck as his home backup there.
I did for a while. Every time I'd get home, I'd plug it in, flip the breaker, run the house off the truck.
Which is cool.
So, it's just been cool, but they finally did deliver on everything. So we have to make that's a fair point. But it took them 9 months to get what we paid for out of it.
Yeah, a little too late.
The truck's always had a few little issues here and there, and we expected that from buying an early Cybertruck. You buy any early Tesla, they're going to have problems. We've been through it so many times. And
or
even
any early car, really. From any manufacturer, they always have a little bit of stuff here and there.
This EX30, buggy beyond belief.
Perfect example, yeah.
Yep, so it's not just Tesla, but it's like so easy to just blame Tesla for building buggy cars that are not put together well. That car's actually put together well. That's just got software bugs.
Yeah, agreed.
So okay, we've had some problems, but then it got really bad to the point where they needed to replace the entire front drive unit.
For an engineering study.
They had to replace them on all of them, but they did ours early, so it didn't break down on YouTube, I think.
But the public-facing thing, well, at least to us, was they're replacing our front motor for an engineering study. With both you and I were like, there's something weird going on there.
Well, at the time, we probably did have the highest mileage tri-motor.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, maybe they actually do want to study our motor.
Yeah.
And they put in an updated, they said there's one that's updated pedigree was the word they used.
Yeah.
of the latest pedigree. I'm like, okay. So that kind of happened. And so that was like a preemptive replacement of the front motor. But then the rear right motor went out months later. This was more recent. And it sort of left the truck being a front-wheel drive vehicle because the rear drive units wouldn't energize. Then something happened that caused a major electrical system fault that sprung off of that inverter issue, and it blew the pyro fuses, and it broke down completely in my garage, and it just was a brick.
Yep.
And we have a whole video on all of that. So, when it went in for that, this thing's a brick, I emailed Tesla and also went in and talked to them, and I was like, guys, this is like kind of crazy. I'm okay with a few little issues here or there, but when the truck literally needs all 3 motors, major work being done to them, on top of other issues being the front end, clunking over bumps and just feeling super awkward. And I've driven newer trucks that drive way better.
Totally agree.
I'm like, this is not representative of how the truck should be. I get it's an early one, but like, guys, come on, this is crazy.
Yep.
And they agreed, and they decided to buy it back in full.
Love that.
Less the mileage. Let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
If you come around to the back of our Cybertruck, you will notice that it is registered in the state of Florida. Long story short, we'll get my dad on camera. We had to use his referral points to jump the line to get this thing early, which means it's actually registered to my dad, which is why he's here, and we'll explain that in a second. So it's great to have him here filming this video with us. Because it's registered in Florida, if I were to lemon the truck, which actually this, I'm pretty sure does qualify to at least get it through lemon law court and to go to battle, and Tesla was like, okay, let's just skip that part and we'll just give you the repurchase agreement, and it comes out to whatever they would have given me if we won in court. And the way Florida calculates the mileage deduction is totally different. Every state does their own way.
Okay.
So they take the MSRP of the vehicle times 120,000. Oh no, you take mileage times MSRP. So it's 120 or 26,000 miles times the 120,000 MSRP. So you take mileage times sticker price divided by 120,000.
Okay.
I don't know where that 120,000 comes from, but that's just the arbitrary state law. This vehicle is MSRP is 120,000 exactly.
Okay.
Which means if you do the calculation, it's $1 per mile.
Well, that's not too terribly bad.
I mean, that's pretty bad. $1 per mile?
Yes and no.
In this case, if I had a dual motor, it would have been less of a hit than the tri-motor.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that is quite a bit. Yeah, that's a lot.
I think it's quite a bit. So I went back and forth with Tesla. I'm like, hey, the problem started when you replaced my front motor. Like, can we at least do the calculation back then? They were like, no. And so they're giving us, which is still an insane deal. And we're very lucky that it kind of broke down from a financial standpoint. Because this is, while a lot of Cybertrucks are being bought back, they're not just buying back anyone's truck. It's got to break down. And ours really did have some problems. So they're giving us full MSRP back, plus the taxes and fees that we paid.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing on top of all that, plus whatever work we had done. And honestly, I didn't even put it in there because G didn't charge us to wrap it, and all that stuff, but we probably could have gone down the list. I didn't push it. And then they're subtracting the $1 per mile. So the check that they should have there waiting for us is about $110,000.
Which is pretty good when you consider depreciation on these.
If I went to go sell this to someone, maybe 60 grand.
Wow.
Maybe 65.
Have you done like a Tesla trade-in to see what the value of this
They don't
be?
buy Cybertrucks.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
They do not accept Cybers on trade, is the last I've heard.
Nice.
So, while I'm kind of bummed that it broke and I am going to miss the truck, I can just go out and buy a used one at some point if I ever wanted to get another one. So no question, like, made for great content. I'm not here complaining. People are always like, oh, you don't seem upset. I'm like, I am upset. I hate that my truck broke. But at the end of the day, the resolution is actually kind of in our favor.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I'm really thrilled that Tesla stepped up to the plate and is making it right for us. I mean, that's an insanely crazy situation. I would never wish for a vehicle to break that we have. We never did anything to intentionally break this truck. But this one did have some problems, and Tesla agreed to buy it back because it did qualify for lemon. And they did the right thing, dude, don't you think?
Yeah, totally agree with that. I mean, I think that's more than fair, I would say.
Totally.
I mean,
even for the $1 per mile, if it was California, it would have been like 25 cents a mile or something.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not complaining at all. I mean, we're getting an insane deal.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's been a fun truck too. I mean, we have had an amazing time with this thing.
I kind of hope it pops up for sale used.
This guy's out of his mind.
And I wouldn't mind it back, to be honest, because at $120,000, I can't deal with the issues. That's unacceptable. But for 55 grand, now we can start dealing with a little clunk up front and some stuff.
Do we know what happens to this truck now?
Zero idea. We're going to ask them when we drop it off. We're going to go over to Tesla.
That'll be interesting, because my assumption would be if it's bought back, this either gets crushed, scrapped, or maybe it's a executive demo type deal. You've been seeing this on Tesla recently of these repair demos. This could qualify for one of those.
Well, that's the thing, Coleton. By them not lemoning it, I believe it doesn't go on the title. It's not a branded title. It's not a lemon title.
Oh, interesting.
So they're just repurchasing it. I don't know if that means that they have to legally disclose that it was a buyback. It might become a service loaner. I'm not sure, but I'm certainly going to do whatever I can to track down what happens to it in the future, because I'd love to see it again at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
And now that they kind of fixed it, it was annoying having this for the last few months. Come around to this side so you don't have to look at the ugly back end. It really is not pretty back there.
No, it's definitely not.
Now that it's kind of fixed, like it's actually working pretty well, and I probably would have kept it, definitely would have kept it if they weren't going to buy it back. But the deal is just too much to pass up, in all transparency.
Yeah, and we've also talked about how good the dual motors have been as
Dual
well.
motor's the way to go.
It
Don't
really
get a tri.
is.
Get a dual.
They're plenty fast.
You get dual lockers, you get rear biased power instead of the front, permanent magnet primary axle up there. We've gone through it in many videos, but it's time to drive this thing for the last time. So I think, we got to go over to Tesla and return it. I really am going to miss it, dude.
I agree.
This was my daily driver for a while. I mean, after we did the 6 months of like hardcore filming, we came to the conclusion of, do we sell it? After the 1 year agreement was up, because this was a foundation. Tesla said we had to keep it for 1 year. People were doing it anyway, that nothing probably would have happened to us. But I just felt like we agreed to keep it for a year. We're going to at least do that. We promised the viewers that. And we did a 1 year ownership update. In that update, I said we are going to keep this thing.
And then quickly after.
And then, went to shit and broke down and really took an L on that.
I think the interesting thing about these trucks, when these first launched, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I hated the Cybertruck.
Come take a
Even
look
when
inside.
you and I went down to Austin, I was like, this is never going to work. It's dumb. Then we started driving it, saw it in person for the first time, and I'm like, I love this thing. I really have enjoyed the Cybertruck. I'm
pretty sure there will be more Cybertrucks on Out of Spec in the future, because the usability, the power export capability of having 240 volt at 40 amps output, it does sag under load, but we'll gloss past that. And just having this much space in an electric truck's great. Now the F-150 Lightning also has this much space, if not more. And so does the Silverado. Both of those vehicles do not have dog mode, which was a huge factor for us using this really as the main dog hauler. Now it doesn't look like it, but I just went through and wiped the entire interior down, because it may not look pretty now, but it was disgusting. And I didn't feel comfortable giving Tesla their truck back covered in dog slobber. So I just wiped it down quickly, just so there's no biohazards in here.
Fair enough.
But we used it like a truck. I mean, we off-roaded it. We did everything you could do. I towed with it a bunch.
Yes,
and
definitely.
I'm really going to miss it. I'm not going to miss the charging performance or the range. And the range extender is canceled now.
We all knew that was going to happen, didn't we?
I mean, I kind of thought they were going to do it.
I never thought they were going to do it. It was, we under-delivered, and then, we got to do something to make people somewhat happy.
It's just the most Tesla move, isn't it?
It really is.
Oh, I hate that so much.
shady.
It's like you can't trust anything. You couldn't trust anything they said before. Now you really can't trust anything they say.
I mean, how many years have we been told FSD is going to be for real, and we're still not there yet?
I mean, everyone says we're a month away. We're a month away in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be there. I'm going to try it out.
Yeah, it's been 12 years.
It's all right. Things take time.
I get it.
All we can do is review the things that are in front of us and not the promised future benefit. And that's been the story with this truck. Right? Where they're like, hey, here's a blank shell of a Cybertruck, even though we paid for the Foundation Series extras. And all of the stuff came later. And honestly, it all did.
Yeah, it really did.
It really did. So we have to give them props on that. It just sucked driving it for 9 months, not having everything we paid for. But as an early adopter going into it, I knew that it made for good videos.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, this is a sad day to see it go now. So let's take it for a ride over to Tesla. We've got, what, 20 minutes to get over there?
Let's see.
I've got it charged to 50% state of charge, because I know it's going to sit around for a little while. I'm going to set the slider down so it doesn't sit dead or full. We're still taking care of the battery.
Always taking care of the battery every day. No matter what.
Got to. I'm really going to miss it. So let's go for a final drive of this thing. Hey, Dad, welcome to Colorado.
Yeah, thank you very much. Beautiful day. Awesome.
Absolutely. So we are saying goodbye to the Out of Spec Cybertruck. And are you going to miss this thing? I guess you only drove it a few times.
Yeah, I'm not going to miss it. I'd really, I like it. I don't love it. Would I want to own one? I kind of do, technically, but it's not for me. Although it drives really well. I just drove it over from the hub here to Coleton's place, and it's fast. The stereo is unbelievable.
Yes.
I used FSD on it, and it took me all the way here. You know those little circles that you have around here, Coleton?
Yeah, roundabouts.
Yeah, the roundabouts. I was going up on the curb, but they aren't like a brick curb. They're not like a 90-degree. They're like, I was going up and over the curbs, which I thought was a little strange. But this is not. Is this? I don't know. But FSD
Were you
got me
doing
here.
it, or was FSD
No,
doing
I
it?
was on FSD.
And it was driving over curbs?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's really great.
Not like over.
Oh my
I
gosh.
filmed it. I have it. I'll send you the video. But
Okay.
but look, when you sit in this thing, it's all Tesla. The just everything about it, like the dash just keeps going for a half a mile. But great sight lines, even compared to like the Rivian R1S. It just, you see the road right in front of you really well. It drives really well. I like it. It's just not something I would want to be seen in. I don't know how to say it. It's not me.
Well, I don't buy a car based on of others people's judgment of me. Obviously, I drive a Renault Twizy and this, so I
mean,
cover
you've always liked different and odd and weird things.
Yes.
And I mean, can you get any more different, weird, or odd than this?
No.
You can't. So you had to get one.
Yeah, especially back then.
Yeah.
Now you kind of see them; they're more popular. Whatever.
So
but we knew that was going to happen.
Talk about, like, you know, the when you picked it up, right, down in Florida, in Jacksonville, I didn't have to be there, right? But now, to give it back, I have to be here.
Well, we should explain why very briefly, which is we have in other videos, technically the truck's registered to you.
Right.
And the reason we did that was to skip the line, and we burned your referral points in order to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I was able to pick it up without you there. Because
That's right.
we did everything electronically. Technically, I did everything under your account, I think.
No, I did it legit.
Did you do something?
There was some FedEx involved, I think, somewhere.
I don't think there was any FedEx.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for letting me use your name.
It was over a year ago. I don't remember what happened last week. So,
but regardless, even though, you know, because the truck is technically in your name, you had to come here in order to sign the paperwork to return it to Tesla, which I think is fair. That's fine.
With the current registration, which I do have.
Okay.
Could you imagine if I flew out here?
I don't think they would care. I think they just wanted to know how much to reimburse us.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's because they are reimbursing for taxes and registration, which is pretty amazing on the buyback process.
No, listen, I think they're being super fair. Really,
I think so too. I mean, it's whatever would have happened if it went through the lemon law courts, but they didn't make us sue them.
And by the way, Kyle, it drives great now.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you think?
Well, I got some issues with the front end clunking over bumps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. But other than that, it's a nice truck to drive for sure. So, you know, the other thing is Tesla asked that we return the truck to stock. And so G came out and did the white wrap to it, which
I never saw it in person as a white Cybertruck.
Oh, really?
I never did.
Okay, so I took the light bar off because they said we could take off all the Foundation Series stuff. So if I ever get another Cybertruck in the future, I'll probably put that light bar on there. And I also took the Martian wheels and big tires off because it looked amazing on those, but those are, of course, are not OE. And we pulled the wrap off. We have a whole video on the detailing channel about us returning it to stock.
Do you think it would be too much to ask if you could do an FSD transfer to the Model S?
I don't think we're going to ask anything more of Tesla because
I was joking there, Kyle.
Okay.
He's like, well, it'd be a good idea, but like, we're not pushing it, right?
Yeah, we're not pushing anything here. I mean,
because the FSD came with the Foundation Series.
They're giving us the money back.
No, I know. I was trying to be silly.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Little FSD humor.
I see.
That's all.
Okay. So anyway, what I did do is I took the charging cables out of it because I figured we could keep those. They basically said they just wanted the naked truck back. And that's exactly what we've done. Again, just wipe down the interior to make it not as clean as possible, but reasonable to return a truck to them that's given us some problems. And I think it's time to go. We're a little bit late for our appointment.
Let's go.
Man.
You drive this thing, I'm driving in the EX30.
Yeah, okay, you'll take the EX30?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Colton and I will take the Cyber. You just drove this down over
here. I did. And I'll send you the footage. I thought it drove great. And oh, by the way, stereo, wow.
Yeah, it's a great stereo.
Really great stereo.
So I'll hand you the keys to the EX30.
Okay, thank you.
Which is a nice car, by the way.
Yeah.
Just buggy from a software perspective a little bit, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
I like that thing a lot. It's also another quirky, odd, interesting electric car. So Colton, should we go rip?
I said I was going to drive the EX30, and here I am with you.
Yeah, well, we have a dog situation.
Yeah.
So Colton's taking the EV6. It's all good. We don't want to throw dogs in a press car. So we're in drive and started the last drive of my Cyber. I'm going to really miss this thing. I mean, part of it is sentimental value because we were able to do so many fun things with this along the way. So many cool stories, great off-roading trips, great road trips in general. I've taken this thing all over the country, really. And from East Coast to West Coast and towed with it a bunch around here. And it's just been the right size truck. It's had a great bed. It's had a very usable space in the back for the dogs. And you know what? I can still get all those things again with a newer, more reliable Cybertruck build if I decide to at some point in the future. So, That's the thunk I was telling you.
I had not heard that before.
It's pretty bad, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, that.
Yeah.
It sounded like, I don't know what that was, like Snapple bottle caps in a garbage can.
It feels like the whole front end's about
Yeah, that was not good.
That's partially why Tesla's buying it back.
And they still haven't fixed that. Do they know what the problem is?
No, they said they can replicate it, but they don't know how to fix it. And it's just a problem with all the tri-motors. Or at least all the older tri-motors. So many Cybertruck tri-motors. I've gotten like 50-50. Half the owners experience it and hate it, and half the owners don't notice it at all. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there.
Huh.
So again, we paid for and got the Cybertruck Beast with 850 horsepower, because how could you say no to a super truck? And let's use it.
Oh, baby. Yeah. All right.
Stuff goes flying everywhere. It's quick. I mean, that's been a real fun thing with this truck, is getting people in it and then just...
Oh, that just slams you back.
Yeah, it's quick.
And thanks for the heads up on that.
Yeah, and you know, we're only at 48% state of charge, and it's still got plenty of performance.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say, when the drivetrain's working, it never feels stressed. It feels pretty stout. It's just sometimes the motors stop working, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
And to be totally transparent and fair as well, all of the motor issues that we had on this truck are because it's an early build. And I've spoken to a lot of engineers about this and other people at Tesla, and it's like the new ones don't have the problems at all.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we could use the money Tesla's giving us for this and get another new Cybertruck. I don't know exactly what I want to do next or what I want to get. In fact, Dad, you know as well, but maybe the viewers don't. We didn't actually sell anything to get this Cybertruck. You know?
Right. No.
Yeah, this was an addition.
Right.
And I don't necessarily feel like a lot of people are going to ask, what are we going to get next? What is happening? And to be totally honest, there isn't much out there that I'm super excited about.
Lucid Gravity?
Lucid Gravity would be the only one that I've really got my eye on. Other than that, it's kind of combustion sports cars, enthusiast stuff, which wouldn't really be a good Cybertruck replacement. Neither would the Gravity. But in general, I don't know. I kind of feel like for all the towing that I do, I hate to say this, but no electric truck actually works for my needs, which is towing long distance.
What about the new Dodge? That's the Ram Charger
that would be intriguing and interesting and might actually work pretty well, but it's not on the market yet, and the performance is unproven. And so I would be interested in that, and it might be something we could consider.
Yeah, last week, 2 weeks ago at the New York Car Show, they didn't have the actual truck, but they had the underbelly of it there.
Right.
And it was really, it looked really quite amazing. And that truly is an EV, because if I understand, the motor or the engine is really a generator.
Yeah, so it's basically like a combustion electric powertrain where the combustion engine just runs a generator to charge the high voltage battery.
So for the use case of towing long distance,
yeah.
I don't think there's anything better than that. What, 145 miles of range, 680 or 690 miles of total range?
Yeah, so what's that, 300 with a trailer on it? You fill it up in 5 minutes and you're back on the road.
That's right.
That works, but you're still burning fuel.
Right.
And so at that point, I'm kind of like, you know, with any sort of light duty truck, you're limited to 10,000, 12,000 pounds towing, somewhere around there. I'm kind of thinking I need to tow more than one car at once and a trailer.
That will do it.
I don't think that could do it.
I think it's...
The towing capacity might be 15,000.
I thought it was like 14K.
I just think...
Whatever.
Super duty. Diesel.
F-350?
Yeah.
We'll get our old truck back like the one we had in Vermont years ago?
I'm actually thinking 450 dually. Because then I could put a gooseneck on there. With
fifth wheeler.
Yeah, well, yeah, gooseneck or fifth wheel, but probably gooseneck, you know, car hauler, and have a real setup.
Right.
Now, that's not guaranteed. I'm not saying 100% we're going to do that. I'm just saying for what I actually need to do, which is oftentimes bring a lot of broken cars to places to get fixed.
Well,
it's kind of nice to have a lot of capacity.
Yeah, so you're not making content with that, but you're running the business with that, is what you're doing.
It comes down to a need, and right now I pay Danny to move our cars around.
Right.
And that is not cheap, and I love keeping Danny in business, and it's awesome, but I would also love to just have our own truck and trailer.
Yeah.
So that's an idea. The other idea is just to do nothing and kind of wait for something cool to come out, and maybe invest some of the money into growing some new channels or whatever it might be. I want to do a robotics channel. If anyone's interested in robotics, please reach out to me, as well as energy and AI. Those are the kind of areas that I think Out of Spec should branch out of the car world and into. It won't affect any of our car coverage, but just there's so many possibilities, and I think all I'm saying is let's not tell the viewers or say anything about us getting another car, because there are no plans. It is just Cyber's going back. Hugely grateful for Tesla to just buy it back and not make us go through a litigation process, which I was prepared to do.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Well, this is what they're doing is, I think, a class move.
And they're doing it for a lot of Cybertruck
Not just for a YouTuber, right?
No. So many Cybertrucks are getting bought.
Yeah. Well, look, they brought out an early build, and there were problems with it, and they're doing the right thing.
Well, guys, it is the last time we are merging on the highway in the Cybertruck, and I'm really gonna miss the fun-to-drive character of this. When I bought this Cybertruck, let's give it a quick wide-open hit.
Oh, okay. Holy smokes.
So when I bought this Cybertruck, and I got it originally, it drove really bad when you would drive it hard. The steering was weird, the ESP wasn't calibrated, it was doing all this weird stuff. And I did a performance review of this, I think it was a written thing on Instagram or whatever, of like how awkward it is to drive the Cybertruck fast. Tesla followed up not long after that with a update that launched Baja mode. And Baja mode is hilarious in this truck. You can full on drift it. It just came alive, and it really let you use the chassis and use the motors and have some fun. And I've done a lot of fun driving with this on back roads and tracks and off-road in Baja mode, and it's just been so hilarious to drive it hard. And it's just such a different character than when I bought it to today. And it is kind of cool how much this vehicle has improved through over-the-air software updates since I purchased it. However, arguably you could say it should have come that way when you bought it originally. Now that's what new Cybertrucks do. So with all that said, just a little bit of a sad drive from my side, because I am going to miss it. And the good news is they got plenty of these in inventory, Dad.
Yeah.
Always get another one. This was the 5th best-selling electric car in 2024 in our market.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was the best-selling electric truck in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
This year, probably not going to be the case.
No, probably not.
Probably not. And the other electric trucks are great too. I love the F-150 Lightning. I love the Silverado. People in general just haven't really adopted the electric truck thing in mass. All of us nerds love it. I'm sure there's a lot of viewers who drive electric trucks watching this video. And I think it works really well, other than the long distance towing. That is still the last problem that needs to be solved. Not for why everyone thinks. It's actually the charging performance on all the trucks takes forever.
Yeah.
Even the GM24 modules, yeah, it charges at 370 kilowatts, but it's a 200 plus kilowatt hour pack. It still takes a while. It still has thermal issues. The charge port's still not in a great spot on that vehicle. The Rivians are always overheating whenever you tow with them and do charge after charge. And it's just none of these electric trucks are really set up perfectly for long distance towing. Mm-hmm. And really the best one would be Sierra Silverado, other than the range extended Stellantis product you mentioned, the Ram Charger.
Right. The one thing, though, I have not driven the Silverado yet. I've never, actually, believe it or not, even when we did that cross-country trip, I don't think I ever drove it. Oh. But the F-150, super comfortable, Kyle.
Oh, well, you drove that across the country.
I drove that from New Jersey to Florida.
Yep.
And then across the country. And it just super comfortable. Thing floats.
Absolutely.
Stereo's amazing in it too. At least in the Mac Daddy one, it's got the speakers in the headrests and all.
So the thing to do is to buy a used Lightning if you want an electric truck, because the values are amazing.
Yeah.
And
you mean the values are not amazing?
Well, sorry.
Well, actually, the value is really good if you're on the buy side of the transaction.
If you're on the buy side.
If you're on the sell side of the transaction, it's like, I don't know.
But this is the PSA. Go look at used Lightnings, because they're incredible trucks.
Yeah.
They don't love to road trip. They're not the worst. It's really not too bad, and they just unlocked a little extra charging performance out of them.
Yeah.
They have really good thermal management. I like the Lightning. I could actually see us getting a Lightning just to bomb around with.
Just make sure you pull into the charging stations at about 10% or higher. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you had a very unique case as to why you ran out of charging.
Okay, all right.
Which no one would ever see.
Just so you know, you were driving.
Well, that was the first time. The second time.
And then Andres was driving.
Yeah, so
anyway,
not your fault.
Not my fault, although I take the blame. But
okay.
they're
Ford is actually fixing the trucks off of our issues. So through an update, that won't happen anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That is good to know.
And, you know, I think that's kind of cool. Ford improving their vehicles off of our videos. Same with Tesla in this.
Yeah.
So many little
Rivian's
things.
done a lot too, right? You know, taking the cues from, look, all these companies, they're trying, in my opinion, all these companies are trying to give the consumer the best product possible. It has gotten very competitive, and there's some headwinds as far as other issues beyond just driving these vehicles that are very interesting, that are affecting the marketplace today, which I think is unfortunate. And I'm hoping it's a speed bump on the path to, you know, just the transition. Now, look, if you're out there and you want to drive a combustion F-150 or a combustion Silverado, do that, right?
Absolutely,
you know,
can buy them.
Yeah, go get them,
Yeah,
and they're amazing. You know, and you get a big diesel, right? Like you're talking about. We love that stuff, but you know, look, these vehicles, they're just so good to drive. I mean, even your little BMW motorcycle that I was ripping around in earlier, right? That thing is smooth, no gear shifting. It's just easy.
That's the thing with EVs. But, you know, for the trucks in particular, this was my favorite for a while. And I just love the space. If you look in the back, like I know Lightning has a lot of space, but this has the space and the tech and the tow rating. And so it kind of did everything I needed it to do. The real main problems for me, beyond the issues as to why Tesla's buying it back, but the real main issues were range and charging. The battery in this is too small. It's 123 kilowatt hours. It should be 180 to 200 kilowatt hours. And the charging performance, while it can hit a peak of well over 300 kilowatts, it just comes down super fast. And so you come up there and boom, you just come off max charging.
Right. So at a V3 or a V4 dispenser, they claim this will pull 325. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
You have?
Yeah,
okay.
321, 322, I've gotten there.
And what about the curve? At like below 250, does it go down very quickly?
Yes.
It does, yeah.
At 50%, it's doing roughly 150 kilowatts.
Okay.
Which is around 1C charging at 50%, which isn't very good.
Right.
And that's just the 4680s kind of sucking in this.
Yeah.
You know, they optimized for cost, for producibility, for mineral sourcing, for whatever it is, but that doesn't benefit the end consumer that has a too small of a battery pack. For my use case, if you're just daily driving one of these, the battery's fine. Like the range isn't an issue until I throw a trailer on it.
Right.
Or my off-road tires. That really zapped the range too, but you can't blame Tesla for that. Okay, well, we're almost to Tesla, so let's bring it back. We'll say a final goodbye. Man, this feels so weird. It's kind of sad. Doesn't it feel weird?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel weird. And the reason why is if you want to get another one, there's nothing stopping you.
I know, but this one is the one we've done the
you know
videos
what?
with.
Take a picture and sell it.
Especially for the number.
Kyle.
They really, you know, this whole repurchase.
They're treating you right, Tesla.
Well, I mean, it took them 3 months to get around to getting the paperwork done. Let's not give them all the praise in the world.
All right. They're doing the right thing.
They're doing the right thing by buying it back.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That is true.
All right.
Hey, Oliver. All right, I'm going to drag race you.
Okay. I win.
Okay. We are at the last ever stop sign with the Cybertruck. So before we return it, Dad, you know what we got to do? We got to launch it.
Oh, yeah.
So left foot hard on the brake, flooring with the right, getting into launch mode. It's doing a
Don't go right
stance.
up on that trailer, Kyle.
Oh, we could launch it up there. Ready? Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
In the tires over there.
Well, there's slicks on this thing.
Yeah, we did use all the available tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll say anything about that. I don't know what condition they're expecting this thing back
This
in.
place is huge. I've never been here.
Oh yeah, this is our local Loveland service center.
Uh-huh.
And this truck has spent considerable time in this parking lot.
Yeah.
Sadly. So I'm going to basically get the truck set up for kind of storage. So we'll go to a reasonable temperature. We'll shut climate off. I'm going to make sure it's set to 50% so that they don't overcharge it and let it sit at 100 by accident.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go find a spot to park this thing and eventually say goodbye, which will be super, super sad. I love the steer-by-wire. This thing does just like the calibration on everything is amazing. There's no question.
Yeah.
Last time I've ever put it in park. How about that?
Kyle, I'm feeling a little sad. It actually makes me a little happy that you're sad. Why is that?
I have no idea.
No, because I think it's nice that you're attached to this vehicle. That's a good thing.
Oh, well, that's with every car, sadly. But
I don't have that same trait.
if any of the viewers see VIN, let's just
Yeah,
look at the
what VIN is it?
It's 146.
Wow, this is an early build. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the tri-motors were technically 0 to 500. 500 started with the dual motor trucks.
Yeah.
And so 146, it's built. It was an early.
Coleton, I don't think he wants to get out of it. He's like having an emotional situation here.
Cool.
Yeah, I love this truck.
I love them.
But it's time for it to go.
Meh.
Well, guys, this will be the last time you see the inside of the Cyber. We've got climate off. It's at 44%. Good to go. My buddy Nick just threw this sticker on here that says this vehicle has been permanently inscribed with the notation Lemon Law Buyback. Oh, damn. Sad to see it, but that is the harsh reality of this particular truck. I am totally going to miss it, though. What a fun experience it's been. Can't believe this is how it's ending. Definitely did not expect something this bad when we were picking it up for the first time, but we'll say goodbye, and that's it for the Cyber. I guess I got to pull the plate off, but goodbye. All right, it's time to say goodbye.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, I'm starting to feel a little sentimental myself, Kyle. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay, yeah, Coleton. They make more Cybertrucks, but this was the one we did all the videos with.
Yeah, I always get attached to cars and then I just end up selling them. But it's always cool to like all the stories, all the videos we filmed with it. It's cool that we have all that documented as well.
Yeah, so they said that this might get turned into a loaner car. They don't really know for sure. It might go back to engineering. We're not 100% sure, but we had to sign a couple physical papers and yeah, got a check, so we're good.
A hefty check. What was the sticker they put on the door?
Yeah, it basically says that it's a lemon vehicle. So internally, they did say it was a lemon buyback.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So, that they legally have to put that on there. They did. And man, it's kind of a sad fate. I didn't expect this to be the outcome when we first bought it.
No.
I thought we might sell it after 1 year. Then, of course, it was so useful. I was like, let's just keep it. And now here we are. But if anyone ever finds VIN 146 out there, at least we have the whole story documented. The battery's been well cared for. I mean, it only has 6% degradation, and it's not the end of the world. It's about as expected, I would say. And, it needs new tires. we used every last bit of those tires before returning them. I mean, yeah.
That's balder than that's balder than your head.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks to the guys here at Tesla Loveland. They're awesome. Toby, Chris, Nick.
Yeah, really good guys. Excellent. So
yeah, they're awesome. And that's the end of our Cybertruck story. Sad. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for watching all the videos on this truck. It really was amazing. And with that, we'll see y'all in another one again soon.